We keep scrolling, we keep clicking, and we keep believing. But when was the last time we asked, is this true? In an era ruled by algorithms and endless content, doubt has become a luxury. As Carr and colleagues point out, when people lose trust in traditional media but also stop questioning fragmented information, they become even easier to mislead. In a world where seeing is confused with knowing, asking questions has become almost radical. When we ask people how to determine the credibility of news,
I think just tell where the source comes from, I think.
An older couple might see,
I just don't trust the news online. I prefer to watch the Channel 9, 2 or 7 on television.
But Socrates would never agree. He would remind us that if you give up asking questions, you give up the right to think for yourself. 2,400 years ago, Socrates refused to believe that everyone says so equals truth. He kept asking, what is justice? How do you know? When no one could answer, he said, the only thing I know is that I know nothing. Wertheimer described this is a gentle but profound skepticism that exposes what we only pretend to know. Lyons calls it a systematic search for truth, not destroying for destruction's sake, but rebuilding knowledge through reason. Socratic doubt does not destroy, it protects reason and our courage to keep asking.
In May 2021, a nation in British Columbia announced that ground-penetrating radar had detected 250 underground anomalies at the site of the former Kamloops India residential school. Many took this to mean unmarked graves of children who had died there. 2 years later, there had been no excavation, no confirmed evidence, yet tens of thousands of stories had already been shared. Some scientists warned that GPR only shows soil disturbances, not proof of human remains. Skepticism here is not about denying the tragedy, but about making sure evidence supports painful memories. Gutler and Rack remind us that true journalism transforms empathy into cross-verification, using fact rather than just emotions. Carr also finds that the public actually trusts journalists more when they dare to question instead of just repeating. In Kamloops, journalists first reported the shock and the sorrow, but then began to investigate, interviewing scientists, clarifying the limits of radar, and balancing compassion with evidence. That is a modern Socratic moment. To stand with those who suffered but refused to abandon the search for truth. Asking questions does not disrespect those who died. It is the only way to truly honor them. Journalists cannot be simple repeaters of power. They must dig into what others avoid, verify what others only share, and question even the so-called truth told by the most powerful voices. Gutler and Rack show that journalists who build skepticism into their daily routines can rebuild trust in a world dominated by algorithms. Carroll and colleagues also find that audiences are more willing to believe journalists who keep asking, rather than those who passively repeat. Because journalism was never meant to deliver a perfect answer, its mission is to protect the act of questioning, to keep doubt alive so democracy can breathe. If Socrates lived today, he might say, doubt is journalism's lifeline.